Today we're talking about a new knife that's pioneering a very cool technology, but there's a big problem with it. And let's get into what's going on here. So this is the knife that we are talking about. This is the Magpul Breslau. And you'll notice this is the first knife that I have reviewed on this channel where I don't actually have the knife. And the reason for that is that I wasn't willing to spend the money to get this, and we're going to find out why. So this knife is pioneering a new technology called metal injection molding, which is metal pressed into a mold under high pressure. It allows them to make really cool blade shapes, and I'm very excited about what that will mean for knife manufacturing moving forward, but there's a big problem with it. First of all, the metal is called MVN35, which is supposed to mimic the properties and the performance of S35VN steel. To me, that's kind of a weird choice when you're introducing a new knife because S35VN is not a new steel. It's not considered the super steel that it used to be. It has decent edge retention. It has decent corrosion resistance. It's pretty well balanced in that regard, but it's not really a standout of either. I have a lot of knives that I like in S35VN. This is my Cold Steel Tiger Claw. SOG Seal XR. There's my zero tolerance 452 carbon fiber. I have my little Kaiser clutch here. All of those are knives that I have and like in S35VN, but they're not the best performing knives that I've ever tested. There are cheaper steels that perform better than S35VN. Check out up here, I'll put a link to my overrated and underrated steels video. See which steels are performing better than the price would tell you and which ones are overpriced for the performance that they give you. That will be up here. Check that out. But there are cheaper steels like 4116. If it's got a good heat treat, better edge retention, and better corrosion resistance than S35VN. 14C28N is another good example. So there are cheaper steels that perform better. There's also some new steels like MagnaCut. So I'm not quite sure why they chose S35VN to emulate with this MVN35, but they did, and that's not a terrible choice. The problem I have is with the way they are talking about it, right? So what they've done, and I am quoting from the marketing material they have here, this says, "This new technology has widespread ramifications which Magpul is taking full advantage of, producing premium blades with complex shapes and details. Magpul's method is faster and cheaper than conventional blade making, and it's passing the savings on to the customer." I'm not so sure about that. So let's check out what that's like. So what I'm doing is I'm on a popular knife website here that I use a lot. What I'm doing is I'm running a search for S35VN blades because that's what we're emulating here. And I'm running a search for knives about the same size. And we're seeing if this is actually passing any savings on to the customer, right? If that's the case, this knife should be cheaper than something comparable, right? So I have here a Cold Steel Holdout 3, right? S35VN. And it is $76.95. If I scroll down a little bit, I have the Concept Mickle right here, which is button lock, and it is $79.99. If I scroll down a little further, I have the Spider Code Tenacious Lightweight, $84.99. Now the Magpul is made in the United States. So let's limit ourselves just to knives made in the United States. So right here, I now have the Case Kinzula, right? Aluminum handle. We're still looking at $84.99. If I scroll down a little further, we've got Buck Pursuit Pro, $89.99. We have lots of Case Kinzulas, lots of Case in general. Bear Ops Flipper with a titanium handle. That one's more expensive. It's $160, but it's got titanium. So we're looking at, somewhat premium materials, handles that are aluminum, milled aluminum. and we're looking at S35VN blades, American made, we're looking right around $85. Okay, so if that knife is going to save us some money, then what they're saying is true, and it's great, and we should buy that. Let's check the price on the Magpul. If we're checking at the MSRP, it is $199.95. That's right, it's more than twice as expensive. So how is that saving me money? Well, it's not. That's charging a lot more. And to top that off, the Magpul has injection molded plastic handles. It doesn't even have aluminum handles. It's got literally the cheapest material you can possibly make a knife handle out of. And they're trying to tell you that $200 is saving you money. Oh wait, it's on sale for $189.95. It's still more than twice as expensive when their whole claim behind this process is that it's supposed to save you money. Now, I don't have a problem with them marketing this as a new technology. If they had just marketed this as, hey, this is cool, it's a neat way to make great shapes and great complexity of blades, new thing, we're marketing it as that, fine, cool. You can charge whatever you want for that. But if you're going to tell me that this is an easier process and therefore it's going to save me money as a consumer, you don't get to charge me twice as much. Even if I go into my own knife collection, right? This Cold Steel Tiger Claw was about $100. S35VN blade, G10 handles, more expensive than the Magpul. SOG CLXR, this is a very expensive knife. It probably is overpriced. This is kind of similar in terms of S35VN. This is like a fiberglass reinforced something or other handle. That one's about $200. So that kind of sits in the same price range. But again, it's a bigger knife, and I think that's probably too expensive. My Kaiser, right? This is my Kaiser clutch. This is actually only about $130 when I bought it. Titanium handle, carbon fiber, S35VN blade. So far more premium materials at a cheaper price. And again, their shtick is that it's saving you money. Well, it's not saving you money. They're charging a lot for it. Magpul, get your act together, right? Just charge a reasonable price for it. Don't tell people it's saving them money, right? If you want to save people money, that knife needs to be $50. It would be acceptable as a $50 knife. I expect to see injection molded handles on a $50 knife. I do not expect to see them on a $200 knife. Over to you guys. What do you think of this knife? I actually think this knife is designed really well. I just have a problem with the way they're trying to sell it to me. I love a crossbar lock. I love a Wharncliffe style blade. I love a flipper knife. I really, really like when a flipper knife and a crossbar lock are combined in the same knife. Do you like that setup? Do you think this is a good way to market it? Do you think that's a good deal? Leave me comments below. Please subscribe to the channel. Don't forget, I am giving away this zero tolerance 452 carbon fiber when I get to 1,500 subscribers. So if you haven't subscribed yet, now is a great time. Also, don't forget to check out my 15% off at Neil's Gadgets, link down below in the description. Thank you guys for watching, and enjoy your new knives.